afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. Depending you're at, this is man always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Can you believe, folks? It's over the hump. That day, it's Wednesday. You just got a few more days to the weekend. I used to remember those days where I had one job where I worked four days a week, 10 hours a day. Friday, I had a 3-day weekend. So I used to say to these guys, while y'all fool at work, I'm at home watching cartoons. So, folks, we got some big shows coming this weekend, and I'm going to have a live about one of the shows, and also going to pick some content later on. So, folks, we have here, she's not new. She's been a guest before. I had her on last month on one of our panels. It was talking to ladies who did the Masters Olympia, and she also made an announcement she was going to do the Masters World Championship. We have here IFBB Pro Women's Bodybuilder, the lovely Mrs. Erin Hawkins, and she's been competing for quite some time. Recently, she did an interview with my man David. You want to watch the interview? I'll leave it in the description of the live. You can check it out. And my man David, Female Body Forum. He always supports me. I support him. He got to it. I have first Dave, so he. But we're brothers. I love him. So welcome, Erin. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No
Such
problem.
an honor.
Man, it's an honor. It's mine. So, if I often ask you, ladies, what got you started in sports? I call it muscle masculinity. Please share.
Well, it's, interestingly enough, I never played team sports as a kid. So people are like, "Oh, you must have been a tremendous athlete." I'm like, "No, I never played a team sport." So I just was I was on the weightlifting team as a senior in high school, which didn't mean anything. It just meant that it was an elective that you could take if you didn't want to take, a class you probably should have taken as a senior. So I decided to take weightlifting. A lot of my friends took typing. This is back in, 1991, 92, right? So when they said you don't have to take math anymore, I'm like, cool, I'm out. And they're like, here's your list of electives. Which one would you like to take? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take weightlifting. So it was just by total accident that, no one in my family worked out. We didn't talk about working out. Nobody went running or anything like that. So it wasn't like I came from a workout family or even a sports family. So I kind of just decided to take weightlifting, and then I loved it. And then, going to chef school later, you have to work out if you go into chef school. If you're eating all day, tasting food all day, you need to do something on the other end to not be unhealthy, right? So that's how it started, and I always loved lifting. I love cardio. I'm not a negative cardio person either. I like cardio, but I'm not a runner. I've never been a runner. I'm more of I love to row. I like to do stuff like that. And as you get older, it's a little easier on your body. So, but love lifting weights, and it takes you your whole lifetime, as a trainer, whatever you to really understand. I mean, your whole lifetime. I'm only 51, but like, it takes you a while. You start to really understand that weights is where it's at. Mm-hmm. Weightlifting is where it's at.
Well, I was in high school. I played team sports, played football, tried out for baseball. We had our gym where it wasn't elective. Unless you played on a team, you couldn't do the weights. I remember when I quit playing football, I couldn't do the weight class anymore. Yeah, I used to.
That's a bummer.
Yeah. And I grew up. My older brother, he was into it because he was a big football star here in our hometown here, and he used to get the muscle mags. That's what got me into it. Guys like Lee Haney and Arnold was about to retire around that time when he really got into it. And then, so many others. We didn't have we did around the house. We were poor folk. We were sharecroppers. We just had oats in the blocks and logs and stuff like that. I used to live with those, and that's how, I remember one time, it's a true story. I remember I was in the weight room, and we was lifting weights. And then I was like, by the time I was maybe 16, I was already bench pressing about 350 on the bench press. And then one of the guys came to me and said, George, he asked me this, you ever have any? Have any? I said, no. I said, no. I said, well, son, you cock strong. That's how he said it. So, and yeah, I think weights do help you a lot. I wish I don't do it like we get into the real world and get a job. You just don't have the time to do it like you used to.
Right. Yeah. I had no idea. I had wanted to be a chef, and since I was a little kid, I even wrote a paper about it when I was like in second grade, which is framed now. My mom framed it for me. So I always wanted to cook and be a chef, and I still do, and I still love that. But lifting just kind of started in high school, and then I just kind of kept going, didn't really stop, and that was my kind of hobby. And back in those days, the 90s, so, they had we still had the magazines coming out, right?
Yeah.
So I love the magazines of the weightlifters and the bodybuilders of the early 90s. I miss those magazines. I really
Yeah.
do.
Well, they're still around, but
But
they
fun.
really, hmm, yeah, they're still around, but they kind of,
The way they looked, and I didn't know how to do that or what it was, or but I just loved how they looked. And bodybuilding was, back then I never imagined I would end up like this, but it was great.
yeah, the magazine's still around, but they kind of got smaller over time
Yeah,
because
right. Yeah,
because many of them don't post women bodybuilding much anymore.
right.
I mean, a
Every time
couple
I
like,
go to a bookstore, I go look at the magazine rack to
yeah,
find something, anything.
yeah,
And yeah, it's not easy to find anymore. So
yeah. It's all gone digital. I mean, I was collecting I got a collection of magazines, muscle mags,
oh, you do?
because
Cool. Yeah.
yeah, with some comic books I had when I was a kid. My mom put my storage closet some years ago when she cleaned out my room one day, and they were great. Iron Man, Flex, Muscle Development. Particularly one I was a fan of was Women's Physique
Mhm.
World. Just the beauty of women with muscle. Just it kind of turned me to another thing. It's one of my passions. I want to admit my crime to you, Erin. I am a muscle person. I can't help it. Y'all buff people, ladies. You excite me. So we have here some people here coming. You shout to my man here, the Milkman 95. He says, "Hello, my fellow Americans." Hello there, sir. Also to my man Alex. Shout out to my brother Alex here. He says, "Now my say yo George. Nice to meet you, Erin. Heard about you. Shout out to Alex. I got a pleasure meeting young Alex when I went to Tampa last month. So now you're a chef. What got you interested in that? As a fat man, I love cooking. I love food. But what got you to be a chef?
I always loved cooking. I cooked with my grandma when I was little. So, and she was like Italian. She was my step grandmother, but she was my grandmother. She was Italian, and she would cook. Like, there's only 6 of us in the family. It was my grandparents and my family of 4, and she would cook her heart out for 6 people. There would be there'd be a lasagna, and there would be a rack of ribs, and there'd be like food you could feed an army with. And I would help her as a little kid, like from 5 years old up, and I just loved it. So I just love being in the kitchen with her and cooking with her, and I liked the colors and playing with vegetables and fruits and stuff. So I just always wanted to learn how to cook, and I did. And then I just decided I wanted to be a chef. So when I was 14, my mom, to her credit, she's like, well, if you're going to be a chef, you're going to go to the best school the country has. So at 14, she took me, I was a freshman in high school. She took me to the Culinary Institute of America, which is in upstate New York. If you know, then you know. It's up by West Point in New York. It's up there on the Hudson River. Like Poughkeepsie, it's a little bit above Poughkeepsie. So we went there when I was 14, which was awesome. It was awesome. It was like going to Harvard, the Harvard of cooking schools, right? That's like the best school we have in this country. And I just couldn't wait to go. So then I got through high school, and I went when I was 19. I had to stay at, you have to work in a restaurant before you get to go. Back then, this is how it was back in the 90s, early 90s. So I worked in a restaurant after high school. I was an apprentice to a chef when I was 12 for free, 12 and 13. And then I worked in restaurants all through high school. And then the year between high school and going to culinary school, worked in a restaurant exclusively, because then you have to use that experience to go to school. So then I went to chef school in 1994. And it was a 21-month program. It's really fast, but it's intense. They train you how to be a chef fast. So, but I love cooking, and it's not something you ever lose. It's like so my husband's a Marine. You don't lose. You're always a Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine, forever a Marine. Same thing with chef. Like, yeah, thank you. Yeah, he's a good guy. But people are like, oh, do you still know how to cook? I'm like, what do you mean? Do I still know how to cook? I went to a trade school. You always know how to cook. I'm never not a chef. I'm just, I'm a chef with this, crazy ass hobby that's spun out of control. And like I said, at the same time, I worked out in high school, and then I just kept going and kept lifting and whatever. And I would just became a personal trainer in my early, 20. I was like 20 years old, but I didn't train anybody for 5 years because I didn't trust myself to train anybody. I just wanted to learn. So I got my trainer certificate, started learning. I hired people to train me because I was working as a private chef at the time. So for, families all over the country and celebrities here and there. And you always learn, you always know how to cook. And then I was a private chef from the time I graduated school, which I was barely 21. I wasn't even 21 yet because it was like, the early spring of 1995. And I was a private chef from like that age to 32 years old. I did that straight for various families, like I said, and traveled with them and was there. I never lived with them in their house. I lived out, but they would take me with them everywhere they went. And I had a rigorous schedule and your staff to a very wealthy family. So it was a lot of fun. And then I just kind of hit the wall with it. And all through that time, I was a trainer and I would teach group fitness. Group fitness is my other big thing that I've done. I would start racking up certifications of, I don't know if you've ever heard of body pump, but I've been teaching body pump for like 30 years. It's like a weightlifting, it's a barbell class. And I just did that as my hobby. So I'd cook all day for these families and I'd go to the gym all night and teach classes and work out. And that's kind of how my life has gone. And then at 32, I kind of hit the wall with the private chefing because it's very, very hard. Being a chef is very, very hard. Restaurant, I don't care where we're doing it. Restaurant, private, it's all hard. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of intense. And I decided just to do fitness. So then I kind of just did fitness after that. So
being a chef, you
that's a lot of information. Sorry, you could pull that.
That's not a problem. That's not a problem. That's the thing about we get to know.
You let me pull the thread. I'll just go and go and go.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's we get to know more. You telling us a story. And
yeah, it's an interesting story because a lot of people are like, you're a chef, and I'm like, yeah, I know, right? It's weird.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm gonna kill you, but I can cook.
It could be like Steven Seagal. Remember that a movie he did years ago? Was it what was the one where he's a chef? He says, I'm not a cook, I'm a chef. He's like, he used to be an ex, and he used to be a Navy SEAL, What was that movie? I forgot the name of that movie. It was, the second wasn't as good. The first one was pretty good. And your husband, again, is, he served our country. And I say to anybody who served our country, I don't say thank you for your service. I would say as a citizen, I please sacrifice he has made for this country. Because my oldest niece and one of my nephews were in the Army for quite a few times. And, wow. A chef, it sounded was pretty good. Cooking for families and celebrities. Is there any celebrities you can name that, is there any confidential stuff you can tell?
Well, it's not anything super confidential. Like right out of school, I worked for a catering company that catered movies. So the first movie they sent me to cater, it's, movies on location, right? So, and you've seen the credits roll up and it'll be, catering. It'll list the names of the people that cooked on the movie. So you're mobile. You're in this mobile kitchen, like a food truck, right? But like with a full kitchen on it, the whole thing. So the first movie they sent me to out of school was the original Scream movie with Drew Barrymore, like the first one. Yeah. Where she gets killed in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Yeah. So I cooked for her. And everybody on that movie. Courtney Cox was on that movie. David Arquette, that was before they were married. Drew Barrymore, everybody on that movie. Nev Campbell, right? And then the second, so they sent me out to LA. We filmed that in Santa Rosa, California. So they sent me out there to do that movie and then brought me back. It was the same producer that worked these were his two movies. He produced that movie, and then he asked me to come to New York and do this next movie, which was called Copland, which is a Copland. It's an obscure movie, 1996.
With Stallone,
Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro,
like
Harvey Keitel. They're all in that movie. They're all in that movie.
Ray Liotta. That was a pretty good.
Ray Liotta, yeah, I got to cook for all of them.
Wow.
Super fun.
Yeah.
So, I did all that, and then that same producer guy, then he hired me to be his private chef. And there's another movie that's famous now. Back then, it was like an obscure B movie, but it's called Swingers. With the first Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, Vince Vaughn.
And the first movie, Vince Vaughn, and the guy from Marvel. What's his name?
I know. I forgot his name. He played.
He's in the Marvel movies. He's the limo driver.
Yeah, he was Tony.
John Favreau. Sorry,
John Favreau. Yeah, John Favreau.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was.
There's a lot of stuff up here. There's like an index. I have to flip through my index. John Favreau.
That's all right.
people will know that movie, Swingers. You know, they're
Yeah,
not,
I
they go
remember
to Las
Swingers.
Vegas. You remember that? So
Yeah.
what's cool is that was the same producer. So I was his private chef in LA. So I lived in his house in Beverly Hills, and Vince Vaughn and John Favreau would come over for dinner, and I would cook for them. This is before they were famous, right? So
they're kind of like the other side, like how you look at like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. They were kind of like
right.
yeah,
like the cooler, less preppy.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun movie. So yeah, I did that for a long time, and then I kind of settled and worked for just the next family that hired me. They weren't famous; they were just extremely wealthy, and I was their private chef. The next 3 families that I cooked for were just So it's just like in the movies, they have a housekeeper, they have a butler, they have a chef. That'd be me.
Yeah.
And I did that all those years. I did that from like I said, being 20 to being like 32. And then you just kind of, when you hit your early 30s, like, maybe I want more of a life for myself. Maybe I want to find somebody and have kids and do things. And so, and then I was a trainer during that time. I didn't really train people. I was really more interested in the group fitness part of it. So I actually worked at Gold's Gym for like 20 years, various different Gold's Gyms all over, at that time, like Maryland, Virginia area. So I was a group fitness instructor for many years. And that's a lot of people that know me because of group fitness, I would say. Like when people, see me and they're like, oh my God, I took your class, 20 years ago, blah, blah, yeah. So that was when I was, right when that started. That's always been like my biggest passion, I'd say. Bodybuilding for sure now too, but group fitness was like, because I used to be painfully shy. Like, you could not get me to stand up in front of people and talk at all. I'd be like, I would rather die. I'm like Kevin Hart in Jumanji when he goes, get on my back. He's like, I would rather die. Like, getting up in front of people. And I think it helps me now, because to get on stage, it is scary. You're up there and people are staring at you, and you're wearing almost nothing, right? And like I said, the girls backstage are like, you're so calm. Why are you so calm? I'm like, I just think of it like a big group fitness class that I can't see them. I see the lights. But it is daunting, but it's cool too. You do get nervous. Don't get me wrong. Like, the weeks, like especially peak week, you're just like, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? I can't believe I have to get up there. You have all these things, but I think group fitness for sure helped me like be less shy in life in general, right? And definitely helped me. It helps me with everything. I get up there and the lights are in your face. You can kind of see the judges. You can kind of make the outline out of the panel sitting there.
All the shadows.
And then you're like, beyond that, you're like, I just say to myself, it's just a big group fitness class. You're okay. It's just a big group fitness class. Just do your poses. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Don't freak out. You're okay. And then in your head, you're going front lat spread, double bicep. You're like trying to remember the order. Yeah. It's so funny. This last, so we're at the World Masters, right? And Christine Ware, I know you know Christine Ware.
Yeah, I know Christine. She's
my girl, right?
Yeah, she's a great lady. Yeah, I got to meet
her.
I got to meet her when I went to Tampa. She was there.
Yeah.
We talked a good bit. She's an amazing person. She also served the country in the Army. Her daughter was there. She was about to go to the college.
Yes,
I think that week.
Yeah,
a week later, she did the She was also.
We were Tupelo together.
Yeah, we were Tupelo together too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
so we've become tight this year, and she's great. And this is a true story, and don't judge me. But like literally, we're going on stage for the World Masters Pro, and we're backstage, and they're getting ready to line us up and take us up there. And I run up to her, and I'm like, oh my God, tell me the 7 poses again real fast. And I'm like, I know them. I know it. I've done it like a zillion times with my coach. I pose with my coach till I want to start crying, because he's very meticulous about it. God love him. But for like that last minute, you're like, oh my God. I'm like, in my head, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I go up to Christine. I'm like, real quick, rattle off the poses for me. And she's like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, cool, got it. Let's go. So
yeah. Don't forget your front.
So there is a level of nervousness. You do get nervous, but you know that you know what to do, but you're just like, eh. So yeah.
It's like being a kid when you go to do a spelling bee. You gotta say, spell dog.
You second guess yourself, right? You're like, is it really D-O-G? Yeah, it's just like that.
Yeah, we got his comments here. We got here. Shout out here to my man here. Shout out to my man here. DJ says, thanks for sharing your journey. Also, He also says this. He says, "Your dedication is truly adorable." Shout out to my man KL the Wonder. He also has content on bodybuilding. He says, "Good evening, good evening to you, brother." Also, this is from Alex. It says, "Out of the movies you catered for, which ones was your favorite, Erin?"
Oh, like favorite to work on.
Yeah,
Oh, they were both so different. So like Scream was out in the like kind of like in the country in California. It was like in wine country. That's where we filmed it, right? So that was cool because it was like I'd never seen anything. I'd never been to California before because I grew up on the East Coast. I'm from Florida, and then I grew up half in Florida and half in Maryland, and then I went to college in New York. So I'd never been to California. So that was cool because it's something I'd never seen before. The vineyards and all the things. Um, Copland was filmed like almost exclusively in New York City. So it was like New York City, right? Like downtown, cars everywhere, buildings. So, but as far as movies go, obviously, Copland is a very good movie. If you haven't seen it yet, and my name is in the credits of that movie, that's my big claim to fame. My name's not in the credits of Scream, but so my maiden name is Riley, so it'll say Erin Riley. So if you get through Copland, which is a great movie, it's kind of a dark movie. It's about police corruption, but it's good. I mean, everybody's in it, right?
yeah.
It's a good movie. It's a good drama. But if you watch the credits, it'll say catering, and then you'll see Erin Riley, which is now my name is Hawkins because I'm married to Hawkins. But so it's kind of cool because forevermore my name's in that credits, which means nothing to most people, but it's kind of cool. I mean, it's kind of cool.
But the thing is,
A lot of people can't say that their names are in the credits of a movie. So.
You got to think about it. You're in your credits in the name of the movie starring guys like Stallone and De Niro. Those guys are Oscar winners.
I know.
This is one thing
cool, right?
that Stallone always going to have over Schwarzenegger. He has an Oscar. He wrote Rocky, the first Rocky movie. Here we got comments here. This is from my man. Shout out to my man DJ. Says, "How did you feel about the smaller lineup in women's bodybuilding to the 2025 Rising Phoenix?" Oh, he went quick to that one.
Oh, I saw that. Is it true that didn't you write rest in peace? Does that mean they're not doing it anymore? I'm like, what is George talking about?
Well, actually, the part of the Women's World Bodybuilding Championship is done. They already announced that a while back. But, because they took, like, some ladies who I know, like a friend of mine, his wife competed there. Some ladies I know competed there. What it was that you got a lot of incentives to compete there. Like, they gave you a per diem to compete. They covered some of your costs there. The prize money was $50K for first place, even though Andrea or Angela won it. But because it's now just a regular pro qualifier, it kind of like I even was kind of disappointed when I heard about it. But I understand that Jake now, and anytime I say his name, Jake Wood, I say, "Yo, Jake! Yo, Jake! I got that money. I want that gun." It's another person me and I work with Denzel from Training Day. And
so are they not going to have women's bodybuilding at the Rising Phoenix?
They have women's bodybuilding, but like I said, there are only 5 women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's just I think a lot of ladies.
It's open, right? It's an open.
It's an open show because they don't do masters. They never did masters when they had it, but the other divisions they have masters. Physique, figure, bikini. This year don't have masters for fitness or for wellness. Not enough master competitors for those divisions. But I felt like some people feel like some ladies feel like it's like the death of an era. But that was brought on because, as I often say like this, back about almost 10 years ago when the when IFBB is this from a quote from one of my favorite movies, Batman Begins, when Liam Neeson's Ra's al Ghul says to Bruce Wayne, said like, "All the way take care of the enemy, you walk quietly behind them and stab them in the heart." When they pushed the division out of the Olympia, and Jake came along and gave him a show. But now that the prestige of it's not like it used to be, some ladies are not doing the show. Angela Yos, who won it last year, is not doing it. Ashley Jones. It used to be invitation; you get invited to the show.
Right.
But now it's just you just go in, you just compete, sign in. Andrea's doing it. I'm a big fan of Andrea.
I love her.
Yeah, I got chased earlier when we get through this. This is come from my man. Shout out to my man, KL the Wanderer. His comment here. He says this. He says, "George, look like a swinger." No, I don't. And also he says this. He says this comment too because when you flex, he says, "I can see those arms and shoulders, Erin. Oh my God, these guys. Hey, Erin, I'm telling like this. When I get a girl in here, and and she's flexing for these guys. They get excited.
I'm just sitting. I'm really not flexing. I'm just kind of sitting at my kitchen table.
Yeah. While ago you're doing
Thank
like,
you. Thank
you
you.
know, but they get excited about it, okay, guys, because guys, that's why I like when ladies voluntarily flex. You don't have to ask. But if you want to see her flex, you can go to her social media. So what we're going to do is here, what we got it here, we're going to jump into her social media for a little bit. Jump on
Sure.
IG. Yeah, if you want to follow Erin, the links are in the description is live. Check her out, support her. She's been busy this year. I mean, she did at least 3 shows. Counting,
it's 3, yeah. That wasn't like the plan starting out, but it ended up being 3. But it was great. It was great.
Well, as my other half says, I don't have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing cars. I don't know what to do to get one. But guys, this is why I tell you, and there's no offense to you, Erin. This is a lady here. Took time here to talk with me. Be respectful. No weird shit. She has a husband, Marine, and she got kids, man. Be respectful. You're sick freaks. I know you guys. You get excited.
I get some interesting DMs. I think we all do.
Yeah,
I know you know what I'm talking about.
I've been told quite a few stories.
I think my sisters, my fellow, Christine and everybody, they would tell you we get some interesting DMs,
Because it's like,
but I always tell people I'm happily married. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for your, for you being a fan. Thank you. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but
forget about their feelings. If they get nasty shit, their feelings no concern to you. So stop that nasty shit. Stop it. So we're gonna jump into her IG for a bit, folks. And here she is. And this was after, because she won her last 2 shows. She was top 2 in the 40 class, which was get your qualification for the Masters over 2027. But she also won women's 50. And here she is doing an interview with Jordan Sue. Jordan, who just turned pro this year in wellness, and impressive physique. I think she might need to do another division. Her wellness, I don't know. She's good physique, but I think maybe.
Yeah, she's really sweet. She was fun.
So here she is talking with Jordan, and after the show.
Hi, IFBB Pro Jordan Sue here with FBC News Online at the 2025 Masters World Championships. And today we are interviewing
Erin Hawkins.
All right, Erin, tell us what you won today.
I won the first place 50s plus Masters and second place in 40s.
Oh my God! And how do you feel?
I feel awesome. I'm blessed. Very blessed. Thank you.
It's a little surreal, isn't it?
Really great.
Awesome. You're a Masters World Pro.
Yeah. I won the Tupelo Pro 3 weeks ago. Same division. This is my second pro show in a month.
Look at you.
August has been great.
It's been a great month.
Good month, yeah.
It's been a great month.
I'm ready to eat.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, do you want to thank anybody out there for your journey?
Yes, my darling husband David, my friend Shauna, my best friend, who's came with us and been the best support. My kids, Montgomery and Avery, and my coach Brandon Ray, who I love dearly. He's awesome. Love him. He got me here. I'm gonna cry in a minute. It's gonna make me cry.
You get emotional. I'm gonna get emotional.
And everybody in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I live, everybody from the gym, everybody at Lifetime, everybody's been awesome. And it's been I'm blessed. I'm super blessed. I can't believe I'm 51 and I get to do this and I get to win at it.
Good you love.
I know.
Look at the good you love.
Thank you.
All right. So you said you wanted to eat. What's the post-show victory meal?
Probably, I talk a big game, but I'm probably just gonna get a cheeseburger.
I know. Our
or a
eyes
ribeye.
are always bigger than our
or a ribeye.
Yep. And then we're gonna probably be like,
and an old fashioned.
All right. Anything else you want to say to everybody out there?
Thank you so much.
All right, guys.
Love it.
Peace and love. See you next time.
Thank you.
Shout out to Jordan. Hope we do get a chance to see her make her pro debut sometime soon.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's wellness. Is that what you said? She's wellness.
She's wellness. She earned a pro card wellness. I think it was Junior Nats or Junior USA. I'm trying to remember which one. I think it was one of them.
She's
and here,
for sure.
Yeah. And here's some pictures here from a little video. Wow.
That was where we stayed in Pittsburgh. That's the place we stayed at. It was the old train station from like the turn of the century, from 1900, and they like turned it into like offices and apartments. So our Airbnb was in there. It was beautiful.
Wow. Well,
and those pictures, George, this will crack you up.
What?
So what's cool about these pictures is, this is literally 12:30 in the morning. So we come back from the show, right? I take a shower because you got that tan on you, right? And it's so dark. So I take a layer of my tan off, and then we go try to find a restaurant that's open because it's late. The show was, in the evening. So it's a Sunday night, so things are closing. It's like we find a restaurant that's open in another hotel somewhere downtown. So we eat dinner. Here's what I ate. I had a cheeseburger the size of my face. I had a plate of sweet potato fries. I had 2 old fashions, and I had a giant piece of chocolate cake. And then we come back to the room. I put my suit back on, and then we go out there at 12:30 at night, 1 a.m. and take pictures. So I took those pictures after I ate, and my body's like, oh my God, sugar, carbs, yay, let's go, let's go. So but I just thought, isn't that funny? Like those pictures, they're pretty good pictures. And I thought, well, I hope maybe I might be bloated, but I don't care because this building is so beautiful. I want to get these pictures in. So, but it ended up, that picture is when I got home. That was like, and there, I think that's the leanest I've ever been in my life right there. That's, I don't know what percentage that is. That's not edited. I don't edit my pictures at all, at zero. I don't do that.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you have an amazing body. And you know what? You kind of remind me, especially if you will mind this comparison to early Virginia Sanchez.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, she's a little bigger now. And y'all about the same age. I think she's like, Virginia got to be like 52, 53, you know. And, you know, I think about the shoulders, the midsection, you know, the width, you know, you have that similar kind of shape. Also, another lady I've also done an interview with who's kind of like has your build is similar to you is Winnie Sanchez, you know, another, she had competed in a while. You know, I think she's focused. Like she lives in Colorado. Because you probably maybe ran through her because she done the Masters before. You know, in Pittsburgh. You know, we speak in good contact. You know, not as much like I used to. And here she is here, training. And you also you're the gym you're working in. Where's that gym?
That is actually my personal training studio. That's my house. That's our house. That's where I train my clients. So we have a 4-car garage that Gym Rats, actually where I get my, you know, the Gym Rats girl thing. Gym Rats is my business. That's my company. So in 2008, I started my company, and it's my personal training company. So I train folks, you know, I train people still from, you know, the East Coast online. I train people live, but that's actually our 4th studio. So I met my husband in 2008, and that's when I started my company. And I had my first studio in the house that I rented. And then we got married, and we moved into a different house. And we turned that garage into a studio. That was like a 2-car garage, right? And then the 3rd studio, we moved to another place in Virginia, and turned that garage into a gym as well, a studio. So that was a 3-car garage. And then we moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma. We decided to pick up and move to Tulsa, and the house we bought has a 4-car garage. So that's in my house. That's where I train people. So the one with the graffiti on the wall, we hired an artist to do that. So that's always been kind of this is a group fitness thing. And the people that watch this, that take my classes years ago at Gold's Gym, they're going to know what this means. That I would, like when people would, you know, take my class and bitch that it was hard, or, you know, cry that, you know, they're like, I'd be like, come on, you can do it. Like another bicep curl. Let's go. That's group fitness, right? You have to motivate them to keep going. And, you know, if anybody would like whine or complain or even make a face, I'd be like, okay, you're doing 20 push-ups for crying. 20 push-ups for crying. It was like my tagline. So it became my company like thing, you know, like, you know, I don't know, like any company has a tagline after their name, right? So that was my thing. I had bracelets made, we had shirts. It was 20 push-ups for crying. So when we bought this house in Tulsa and we turned in the garage into my new studio, we hired an artist to come, and she put that up there for me with her, you know, her vision and the graffiti, which is really cool. So it says 20 push-ups for crying on that wall that I'm standing in front of. So That's my thing. 20 push-ups for crying. Just do it. Suck it up.
So, you know, you got stuck up, buttercup, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, you've been a personal trainer for now since you left the whole thing with the chef. How long have you been a personal trainer completely?
Oh, I was 20, so 31 years. Long time. I'm a dinosaur. And this group fitness trainers, the same, you know, same thing, same track. I got both my certificates and started doing both. I was a trainer a little bit first, and then I got into group fitness because, again, I was shy. I was talked into doing group fitness by a lady at the gym. I worked at a gym. One of my last private chef jobs was in New York City. So I was there for 9/11. I worked in New York City. In like from 1996 to 2002. And I worked, you know, I always did the same situation. I was a private chef, but I would have a gym job. You know, I have to have a gym. So I usually would work at the gym just to, you know, be part of it. So I actually worked at the front desk of this gym in northern New Jersey, right outside the city. And I just worked at the front desk because I love people, but I was really shy, like I told you. This is, again, like 2000, 2001. And the group fitness lady, the lady that was in charge of group fitness, one day I took her class, this weightlifting class. This is my origin story of my group fitness career. So I'd gotten my certificates, but I told you I didn't do anything with it because I was stressed that I didn't know what I was doing. So I was just trying to learn. I just wanted to absorb. Like trainers today, you could be 20 years old and get your certificate, but do you really know what you're doing? Like, I don't want to hurt anybody. So I just got my certificates because I was so interested in fitness and teaching and all these things, but I didn't do anything with it. So got my trainer certificate and then, worked in New York City, lived right outside New York City, New Jersey. If you're a New York, New Jersey person, like you go over the bridge and you're in New Jersey. So I lived in New Jersey and I went to the city every day. So there's this big gym in Paramus, New Jersey. And I worked at the front desk and I was the opener. So I'd get there at 3:30 in the morning to open this place. It was huge. So again, this is the front desk lady, I'm working at the front desk and the group fitness lead lady and it's so funny because when I think about it now, I kind of patterned myself after her in my group fitness career because she dressed a certain way and she was blonde and she'd pull her hair up and she would always wear like a sports bra and black shorts or black pants. And I feel like, I kind of just emulated what she did because I thought she was so cool. I thought she was like the coolest thing ever. She wasn't a bodybuilder. She just was a very fit, beautiful girl. So one day I took her class and she comes up to me after, because I've been working out. I've been lifting, at this point, I've been lifting, it's probably like 10 years since, or maybe not so much, but from high school. I was probably 20, 25 at the time. So she comes up to me and after class and she's like, you should teach this class. And I go, I just was like, I made an audible noise like, girl, you crazy. Like, I'm not standing up there in front of those people and doing that. No way. No. You have the wrong person. So she just kind of worked on me. And that's how I started teaching group fitness. So she's like, no, you have great. She's like, you have perfect form. Like you look like you've been lifting your whole life. I'm like, well, I kind of have. Well, since I was a senior in high school. So she's like, no, you're going to teach this class. I want you to teach this class. So she, as usual, I get talked into things by people. I let people persuade me. Like getting back on stage after 18 years, I didn't compete. And then my husband's like, babe, you need to get on stage. I'm like, I don't want to. If you watch the interview with David, I tell this whole story. He's like, no, you need to get back on stage. I'm like, But anyway, she's like, no, you should teach this class. I'm like, I said, you don't understand. I can't get up in front. I would rather die. I'm not getting up in front of people and talking on a microphone. There's no way, no how, no. So anyway, she made me go to the training. I go to the training. I learned how to teach this class. It's called Body Pump. And if people know, then they know. And I get up there. First couple weeks of it, terrifying. I must have peed my pants. Pee must have been running down my leg during the class because I was just terrified. But then I kind of got into it. And I'm telling you, that's what cured my painfully shy thing. And then then the monster was born. And I'm now, anybody that knows me or has taken my class, they're like, you're a drill instructor. Like you missed your calling. You should have been in the military. You should have been a DI. You should have had the friggin' hat on, screaming at people like Full Metal Jacket. Like you missed your calling. Because now I'm just, 20 push-ups for crying, right?
Well, like I say, pretty much when you get into this lifestyle as a personal trainer, you do get that kind of militarized mentality because you're training people how to be fit, get in shape, and you have to require their attention. You can't be a whipping willow shy violet. You gotta be like, you gotta sit with your chest. You're like, hey, I don't want that shit. Hey, do this, do that.
Right. Well, I think I've come to a theory that a more mature theory now that I've to look back on it now. I don't make excuses for myself in my life. Like I don't like if I F that up or what, I own that. Like I'm like, I did that or whatever. Like I'm not an excuse person. Like I'm just not. And I think you carry that over to your people. You're like, because I'll be like, this is a common thing for me. I'm like, what'd you eat last night? I'd say in my class, like, what'd you guys eat? And they're like, well, I was at my neighbor's house and they had a cake. And I'm like, I don't care about that. Like, what are you talking about? Your neighbors, like what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you just tell me what you ate. Don't tell me the backstory. What did you put in your food? That's what I say to them. I'm like, what'd you put in your food hole? We're George. I'm crazy. You should see me in my classes. But anyway, I just like, here's the thing. If you ate shit, just own it, right? Just tell me. Don't tell me the backstory. Like, so-and-so was having a party and you had to go and I'm like, no. What'd you do? You're responsible for that. So I don't I don't make excuses for me and myself in my life. I mean, I'm sure you know this with all the women you've interviewed. We're very hard on ourselves. I mean, we all are though, but just not bodybuilders. Like everybody's like, you're your own worst critic, right? So you have to manage that internal dialogue all day long about, be kind to yourself. But that being said, I'm not an excuse girl. Like, yeah, don't make excuses, just do it.
Yeah. That's the thing is, sometimes
discipline.
Yeah, you have to get on your own way to try to do something that's maybe outside your comfort zone. I talked to a lady and said, I may not be, but this is the thing is, getting into a sport like bodybuilding, it's very extreme. Like when you got into it, you enjoyed the aspects of it. You enjoyed the training, the working out. And what was that experience like? What was that first show for you? What was that experience like?
My first show ever, or my first show back? My first show ever was let's see, what year was that? 2003. It was a show called The Body Rock, and it happens in Northern Virginia. So what's cool is I worked out at the same gym, and I had the same nutrition guy as Kevin Levrone.
I got to meet him when I was in Tampa.
Oh yeah, you got to meet him. Yeah.
I actually.
So I knew him like in the early 2000s. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I knew. I mean, I
love him.
At the gym.
Yeah, the gym. Yeah.
So our guy, his name was Todd Sweeney. He's passed away since, but he did my diet for my first. So I did a show. My first show was in 2003, and I did back then. And I'd said this to David on our interview. It was there was only figure, fitness, and bodybuilding, right? So. Yeah. I did figure because I wasn't. I'll send you pictures of that. I know that they must be somewhere. I'll find them. It doesn't even. I mean, I look cute and young because I'm cute and young, but it doesn't even look like anything I look like now. But it was back when we did the bikini, but then you also had the one piece, one piece suit, right? So that was terrifying, but it was cool. I thought it was so cool, and I did that because. Again, I was talked into it by the guy that was training me. I hired a guy to train me because I was a trainer, but I wanted people to teach me stuff. So he's like, "Oh, you should compete. You have really good genetics." I'm like, "Eh." And he wasn't hitting on me or anything. He was married and, he was a good guy. He's like, "But you have good genetics." And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I'm like, and I thought, I have no idea if I have good genetics because nobody in my family works out. So I had no point of reference. So I thought, you know what? It's a good challenge. I like a challenge. I need a deadline. I'm a challenge girl. Like I want a deadline. I need a goal. I don't do well when I don't have that's why when the off season starts, I'm like, what do I do now? You're like, cause I like a deadline, I'm like, I need a stopping point, but off season is great. And I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be great, but I like a challenge. I like a deadline. So anyway, he's like, you should do a show. You have the genetics. I'm like, okay. So I do it. And I when I tell you I never cheated, I never cheated. I stuck to that diet. And it was horrible. And when I tell you this, it was like horrible. I mean, I remember eating like orange roughy and I mean, you do that. I do that now too, but just back then, it was just horrible. I just remember, but I said to myself, you're going to do this and you're going to do it 100% because if you don't do well in the show, it's not going to be your fault that you didn't do well. That's how I talk to myself. I'm kind of an asshole to myself.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be your own worst critic. We got a comment here. Shout out to my man, bodybuilding fan, 01. He says, very beautiful lady and awesome physique. Also, shout out to my man here, my nephew Alex says, I met Christina at Tampa too with Eunice Kitchen. Shout out to Eunice. Yes. And also, just from man DJ says, wow, Christina Mendoza is like everyone posing coach, and she is popular. Yeah, I know she's going to be competing, I think, next weekend. And also, shout out to my man DJ says, Copland, I will check it out, Erin. Thank you. But I've seen that movie. It's a pretty good movie. And also, this is from my man Alex says, I'll check out Copland. I was born in New York and moved to Florida. In fact, I just moved to my new apartment. Congratulations, brother. We were talking about this last time. But yeah, I mean, that early.
Yeah, Copland, you got to go back a bit. Go on IMDb and type in Cop. It's. I think we filmed it in 1990. It must have been 1996. But yeah, it's from 1996. It's old. But yeah, I mean, I wasn't. The first time I competed, I wasn't too terrified. I was just, it was just interesting. There's a lot of girls. I remember there being a lot of girls. I mean, it's been friggin' 22 years ago now, but I remember I vividly remember being backstage pumping up, and there was weights back there. They don't do that anymore. You know, we had dumbbells and we had like a full gym to pump up in, which was great. Now they just give you bands. And then I did it, and I was like, I can do this, and you know, I wasn't, but I didn't like hook into it. I guess it was because the time of my life was the season I was in. I was more interested in doing my group fitness stuff. So I mean, I didn't even place. I mean, there was. I'll send you pictures and you can post them. You'll see why I didn't place. I mean, this is 22 years ago, and it was figure. You know, I was just trying not to fall down on those friggin' shoes. I don't even know how those girls do it. I admire all of them. I'm like, I don't know how. The paper's like, what division are you? And I'm like, really? This is like, you want to be nice to people, but you're like, what do you mean? What division am I? And they're like, do you have to wear the shoes? I'm like,
yes.
No. But people that don't know, they don't know, right? You have to educate people. You're like, I don't want to. They're like, you're really muscular. I'm like, yeah, that's because I don't want to wear the shoes. I just want to add muscle, and I don't want to have to wear the shoes. I'll fall on my face. But yeah. So and then I literally took, you know, that was 2003, and I got back on stage in 2021. So there's 18-year gap there. And you know, I started my business, and I was still private chefing at the time, and then I switched to just doing training, and I taught group fitness. Like I said, I worked at Gold's Gym like daily. I was the group fitness manager, and you know, I worked there for almost 20 years. That was a big part of my life. Started my business, met my husband, had my kids, and then in 2021, he's like, you know, my husband and our bodybuilder friend, his name is Mo. He's in Northern Virginia as well. They're like, they just started ganging up on me, and they're like, you should get back on stage. And I'm like, I'm old now. I'm old. I'm like 40, whatever I was in 2021, But you know, it was good. It was at first, you know, at first you're like, do I want to do that? Do I want to be on a diet all the time? But here's again, I said this to David too. I said, you know, I have this insane fear of being normal. I don't want to be mediocre. I just don't want to be mediocre. I don't want to be I mean, don't get me wrong. I love being a wife and a mom, but I just don't want to be a wife and a mom, mediocre, suburban. I want to be somebody that did something, even if it's a little thing, like a little winning some bodybuilding shows, even if it's a little thing that my kids can point to one day and say, look, my mom, look at that. Look at my mom.
You want to be like June Cleaver mopping and cleaning up in high heels and pearls. You want to be like this.
Although I do that. I just, before you called me, I've been mopping floors because we're having company tonight. So I'm a housewife. It's very 1940s up in this house. I cook, I clean, I mop the floors, but I also, you know, run around him.
You're doing woman's work like you're supposed to do. Yeah,
I am. No, I mean, you see the American flag behind me? Like I mop and I clean and I cook, but I also run around in my posing suit. My kids are like, but it's normal to them. I'm like, I have to remember that in my little world of my kids and my husband and me, and you know, obviously my neighbors know what I do, and you know, they know because they see me outside taking pictures with my tripod. They're like, oh my God, there she is in her friggin' bikini again, taking pictures outside. But you know, it's normal for us, right? But I get that it's not normal for people. My kids are gonna grow up and be like, they're gonna meet somebody, they're gonna date people and be like, your mom just run around in a bikini all day taking pictures of herself like this? And they're gonna be like, that's weird.
You gotta think about it. Like you got two teenagers, and you got your son. His friend said, what's your boy's name again? Your son?
Montgomery
said, yo, Montgomery, man, can we come over and hang with you tonight? And you know, they say, hey, Miss Hawkins, your mom's in that pose suit again. You know, those boys don't care. And then your daughter brings.
Yeah, he's only 13 now, but he's almost 14, so I'm sure that's going to start happening.
That's not too far. I'm telling you, hey. When I
you know what I mean? Like it's normal. My kids they're just used to it. They're like, oh, there's mom and her like you know because we have these practice posing suits, and then you know Brandon, my coach, he'll be like, okay, call me at 3:00. So okay, call. So I'm like, put my suit on, and I'm, you know, but I put shorts on, but I walk around the house. I'm like waiting for him to call me so we can go pose, you know. And they're just, I have to, sometimes I have to step back and be like, okay, this isn't normal, but that's cool because I don't want to be normal. I want to be, you know, it's fun because, you know, I'm a pro athlete. It's cool, you know. So I think that they're into it. They're super excited. They love it. They get so excited. They're, Mommy, you're going to win. And I'm like, and you know, this year I did win. So that was cool.
Well, you're proud of yourself because you know it's good that you have that support from your kids and your husband.
Yeah.
Most ladies I talk to, you know, sometimes they don't have it like that. Some ladies I talk to tell me that family don't understand what they're doing. Sometimes there'll be issues with the parents. Sometimes the issue with, even I've know a couple of ladies told me or a couple of times that they even got divorced because their husband didn't like them becoming bodybuilders. And after having the
Yeah,
kids and
no,
everything else, it's about you finding something that you're passionate about. And,
yeah,
and when people look at bodybuilding, they think of it as you're just a bunch of big people on like you taking pills and popping steroids and rah, 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 and rah, rah, rah. But there's a lot more to this. Like you say, you work with Brandon Ray, and that is one of the top guys. I think he's one of the best guys when it comes to the
he's
women.
Angie's guy.
Yeah, I know.
That's Angie's guy.
I'm a fan of Angelo.
I love him. I love him. He's the best. He's the best. What a guy.
Yeah,
He's such a sweet guy.
yeah. I know. Recently, one of his clients passed away.
Yes.
That was sad. I posted on my social media.
Tragic.
Yeah, I mean, she had great potential. Was hoping to see her finally make a pro debut, but he's, because I remember somebody telling me because I know one of his other
And
clients told me
he took that hard. He is a good man, and he took that extremely hard. And I was worried for him. And he'll call me and we'll just chat. I mean, we're friends. It's nice. He'll call me and talk. We'll just talk about other stuff. We don't talk we don't talk about bodybuilding all the time.
Yeah.
And he's a good, decent man, and I'm just blessed to have him. And to the other point, having the family support. My husband is like my biggest fan. He's more stressed about the shows than I am. He's out in the audience. I could see him out there. Like this last time, like we're at the World Masters. I see him because they're up in the front kind of, and him and my girlfriend Shauna, and he's like this. He's like, and I can see him shaking. I'm like, his hands are in front. He's waiting for them to call, the placings.
He's going like,
and I'm like, I could see him. His whole body was like shaking. He is the most supportive. Awesome. Again, this was his idea, but he's never faltered. And he knows what it is. Like, I'm like, we got to go to the gym. Like twice a day sometimes, and he'll make my drinks for me. He orders my protein powder for me. I mean, there's nothing he will not do for me. So I know what you're talking about. And I've heard these horror stories about, divorces and bad vibes and whatever, but he is the best. Like, I can't say it enough. He's never, ever, like, even when it was this time and when it's over and he's like, okay, what are we gonna do next? I'm like,
off season.
Yeah, off season, but he's 100%, he loves it. He loves it. And he loves being there for me. And so I've got him, and then I've got Brandon with it, and and Brandon is always looking out for me. He wants his athletes to be healthy. He's a great guy. When his client got murdered horribly, tragically, I mean, he took that hard, and he's the best. I just love him to pieces. I just can't say enough about him.
That's good. You have a good relationship with your coach. That's the important part about being a bodybuilder, developing, have that good relationship. Because I often hear stories how some women jump from coach to coach because sometimes they may not find a good vibe with that person at that time, and then sometimes you feel like you're not doing enough for them. But then it's about the process as you grow as a bodybuilder, and also the factors involved in it: genetics, age, any other issue that comes up when you're training. We have here a comment. Shout out to my man. DJ, he says this. He says, she's absolutely shredded. You look fantastic, Erin. Keep up the good work and stay healthy. Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Also, my man Alex, shout out to Alex. He says, I was going to ask about your screen name, but now that's really cool that your screen name is named after your business. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
That's why it is. Gym Rats is my business.
Yeah. Here's one more from my man. Shout out to my man. DJ says, who's your favorite competitor and why in the women's bodybuilding division?
Well, I mean, this probably sounds obvious, but it is. I guess it is what it is. But I love Andrea and I love Angie. Like, the two of them, it's just perfection, right? They're the top two, right? So that's a dumb answer. Sorry. I guess that's a little pedestrian.
No, there's such dumb answers.
I know, but I mean, I've not met Angie. Again, we have the same coach, which is awesome. I tell Brandon, I just want to be like the 50-year-old version of Angie. Can you just do that for me? I'm like Angie plus, whatever. I don't know how old she is, but I'm guessing I'm 20 years older than her.
Not really. Actually, Angie is I think she's going to turn She just turned 42 this just recently. She's not that
Oh
young.
yeah,
She's not. Yeah,
yeah.
she's
That
in her
makes me feel
40s.
better.
Yeah. She's not.
But I just,
She's not. Yeah, she looks like she's a lot younger. But yeah,
and it's not that I necessarily want to look like them, but I just admire it so much. I just admire like the perfection of them, right? And Andrea I've met, and again I met her in Pittsburgh like 2 years ago. Last time I did that show, and I met her when I got my pro card. That's what it was. I met her in the hotel. I told that story to David. Like she was on the elevator, and I freaked out because I'm a big nerd. And she couldn't have been nicer. And it was like 5 a.m. She didn't have to be nice to me. She probably was trying to get coffee. And she was the sweetest. And we took pictures, and got my pro card. She was so sweet about it. And yeah, she's beautiful. I mean, she's beautiful. I look at her and I'm like, oh my God. If my butt looked like that, I would be so happy.
I'm like I said, I think she came along. She honestly, to me, she saved women's bodybuilding. She
Yes.
came along. People have talked to her who met her, or people that actually know her. I'm a fan of her. When she came in the game, I've been, like I said, I've been a fan of bodybuilding for a long time. Amazing women competed over the years, but she just brought a certain level to it. I mean, she's my crush because I'm in love with her. I just love her. She's so beautiful. She's so amazing. This is a true story I'm going to tell you. And we talking about my friend. Shout out to my friend Eunice Kitchen, and she runs the company. I got to put my hat on for a moment. It says BAD Rap, which is the acronym BAD, Big and Defined, Ripped and Pumped. Shout out to Eunice. She gave me this hat when I was in Tampa. And she was at the Olympic back in 2023 when they had it still in Florida. Mm-hmm. And I always like to bring this out because often, as my other half says, if you get something, never do it for free. And I often say this is my reward. And I get some things from some ladies who have done interviews with, who have become friendly with. They send me some stuff every so often, every now and then. But what makes it special because Eunice sent it like just about a little bit after my birthday. It was my 48th, I think it was.
Yeah.
And this is the issue of muscle development. It's Andrea on the cover. This is the last print. Muscle development has now gone to digital.
So that's a lot. That's that's a rare thing. That's cool.
Yeah, but what makes it so special, Erin, is that she signed it.
Very cool. Look at that.
It's
seeing the gold suit. I told you the gold suit.
The gold suit is just beautiful gold because I think you look beautiful in your suit. Denise Wisowski back in 93 or 94, she wore it when she was competing at the Olympic the last time. Couple, I think what is about that gold and the complexion, it makes everything pop. And this is what I think this was a good suit for her. We have here some comments here. Shout out to my guys who've been sticking in here. These guys are fans. They love support you ladies. And I want to shout them out here. We got here. This is from a man, DJ says, I love Andrea, Angela, Erin. So I am with you on that. Thank you, brother. Also, this is from my man, KL. He says this. He says, Erin, what's your favorite dish you like to cook?
Let's see. Well, we eat a lot of steak. Favorite dish? I love to make Mexican food. That's fun. I should send your fans my marinade, my famous marinade. I do I made this up like 20 years ago. This marinade, and I do flank steak with it. I put it on flank steak, or you could put it on salmon. That's yummy. We eat a lot of. We're almost carnivore at this point. I mean, I eat my rice for bodybuilding purposes, but my family we eat a lot of meat, chicken, fish. We kind of keep it simple. So my favorite thing to cook. I mean, I can cook whatever you want, but for daily, day in, day out, we grill a lot. We cook a lot of steaks, but I love to make Mexican food for sure. It's fun. It's just fun,
Yeah, my personal
guacamole. I get mean guacamole. Yum.
Yeah. My personal favorite dish. This is when I came back from my trip from Tampa, and I had to see. Well, I was going to see. I had to take a train from South Carolina. That's the town next over the train station in South Carolina. I had to take a ride from South Carolina to Savannah to catch another train. I had to wait for 6 hours for that train, then take a ride to Florida, get to Tampa. It was a great opportunity for me there to go there, come back, had to wait another 6 hours for the train back to South Carolina. and I was just a town away from Dillon, where the train station was at, and I called my sister to say, "Hey, I'm about to be there in about a good 20 some minutes. Come pick me up." So she picks me up. I said, "Well, I got to take a couple of things before I go back home, take care of some bills, and then go back home." And then we were done with that. So you know what? One of my favorite things is Chinese food. I love the Chinese
Yes.
buffet place, and I had to get a plate. I had to get a plate, Erin. It was calling my name. It was calling my name. It was calling me, and I got a nice little plate. I didn't eat it all in one day, but I just ate a little here, a little there.
Yeah.
It's just something about
Good Chinese, like good, not the cheapo like
it
gooey.
was
No, I like the good. We have a good Chinese place actually right by our house, like
yeah.
gourmet.
The place was a buffet place. It was pretty good. It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
We have here shout out to my man Kia. He always asks. He stole my question. He says, "Well, what's your favorite food to eat after a competition?" Steve?
Well, it's fine. I usually have a cheeseburger, but Brandon lets me have cheeseburgers even at the end of peak week to fill me up. So he'll let me have a burger. But I like to do. I'm a cheeseburger girl. I'm not a pizza girl. I'm not. I mean, I like pizza, but to me, I want a cheeseburger and some French fries, like old school. Just maybe a fried egg on it, some bacon, all the things. And then I want dessert is what I want. That's what I miss. I love. I know it's not good for you, but I love like a good chocolate cake. Again, I'm a chef, so I'm a little bougie. Like, don't give me the cheap stuff. Like, give me the good stuff. Like when you go to a steakhouse, like a good steakhouse, and you get that chocolate cake that's like this big, I want that. Like the good one. I want a good piece of chocolate cake, or I love carrot cake, like a good carrot cake with the cream cheese icing. Cinnamon rolls. I mean, I could go on for hours.
Ooh.
So again, cheeseburgers are the main thing, but then you better bring me something that has icing on it. I need icing. I love icing.
I know I love sweets too. I mean, I got a cookie jar with some donut sticks in it. I might eat one later. At one point, I'll tell you a true story about myself, Erin. Because for a long time, one thing I got is I have a pacemaker. I had my first heart attack when I was not even 40 yet. It was just months before my 40th birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had my pacemaker, went back to work, quit. My mom got sick. So I spent the next 4 or 5 years, pretty much about 5, 6 years, taking care of her. And then before I know it, after she passed, I was already over 500 pounds. And it was tough because I was taking care of her, my home, the house, and everything else, and a lot of responsibilities. It can weigh on you. Food is seen as a comfort, for anybody.
Yeah.
But then I made a decision to take care of myself. And then, last time I checked, I was like 410. And that's pretty good, coming from almost nearly 500 pounds.
Yeah.
But yeah, food is both a weapon or tool for a bodybuilder. I know some of y'all foodies, you love the taste of it, but it's important foods to eat the right stuff as you grow and develop.
Yeah.
Here we have shout to my man, DJ says, I love Andrea and Angela. I am with you on that. Oh, yeah, he said that. Always says that. Also, my man Alex says, I met these ladies back in Orlando. Wishing Andrea luck this weekend at the Rising Phoenix. Appreciate that, brother. Also, we got here just from my man DJ says, do you think the judging criteria have changed over the years? I think it has significantly changed. So, because was it early this summer, you were doing the Omaha, which is exclusively women's physique. What made you switch?
Well, I never really switched. I have my pro cards in bodybuilding. So, but Brandon, he just thought I should go to Omaha to get the ball rolling. It was our first show together. So he's like, you're going to Omaha. I go, okay. And I go, I didn't look it up, until I had to look it up. And I call him back. I'm like, it's an open, right? It's not Masters, it's open. He's like, you're doing that show. I'm like, okay. Guess I'm going to Omaha. So I usually don't do physique because I don't usually place well in physique. For what, I don't know why exactly. I'm not. You're more educated, and I understand the criteria, but I'm not nuanced enough paying attention to know the changes that have happened. You would know more than me, George.
Well, here's how it goes, because when physique came in, it was supposed to be alternative to women's bodybuilding. It's supposed to be more athletic built, more single wow. Women's bodybuilding more fuller. They have the more round muscle bellies, more detailed. But now, if you look at division, it's starting to change. If you look at women, like while I was in Tampa, I saw Rachel Daniels, and this is a beat that she might need to go up to women's physique. But that's the thing is, it's up to that competitor if they want to go up or not. Some women feel comfortable in the division as long as they place well in certain shows, they'll go stick to the division. But people like Sherry Priyami, who have had a big guest on here, she was women's physique, but moved up because she's like at your age. She just turned 50 a few months ago, and it's that how your body develops and turns. It's a lot. I think it's a lot easier for women in your age group to go up to that division if you have, especially if you have children. It can change how your body shapes or how it grows. But I think for competitors who are still young and developing, it's a good division for you. But if you look at now, the criteria is changing. The judges also have too much, they tell the women, hey, you need me full, you need me this, you need that. But then that's not the criteria of that division.
Right.
Yeah. We got here a comment from, shout out to my man Alex. He says, Alex. He says, I met these women, ladies back in Orlando. Yeah, I figured that already. These guys got a lot of questions. I can't get to them all. Also, I said, hey, Erin, you know that Andrea is George's fantasy woman, and every time he holds that magazine, it's like he's holding up a marriage life certificate. Yeah, don't be hating. Don't be hating. Like a man said, hate no more. Also,
she's beautiful.
Yeah, she is. Also, we got here from a man. Shout out to my man Alex says, I enjoy cheeseburgers and fries too. And we had this also here from, shout out to my man DJ says, Rachel Daniel is a beast. She is imposing muscle queen. And also he says this. He also he talk about food. He says, I love sushi and I love crab cakes. I don't like much for crab. And sushi, I'm like this. I grew up Shirley. I grew up poor, but not that poor where I got to eat cold raw fish. So
right.
Yeah, but then
I love sushi too, but now it's like everybody's talking about parasites everywhere. I'm like,
also I think like magnesium something in it too, or was it mercury? It's the
parasites that freak me out. So now they're like, well, don't eat sushi. I'm like, what can you eat? So that's why I'm like, we just eat meat because what else can you eat? They're taking away everything, right? I mean, I don't want to eat parasites, so sushi, love sushi, but kind of stay away from it now because I want to eat worms,
Yeah, I think, remember we did the panel. Some of the ladies said the best, if you ever get the chance to do the match, I don't know if they're going to have the back in Japan again. They said the best sushi was in Japan because they really are very clean. And, it was just good quality food. I remember Shira Mir said that she was eating ice cream. And usually ice cream gets, because, she has that colostomy bag, gives affects her stomach. Yeah. She said she ate ice cream and it was just so good. She ate it again. Because some of those countries don't have a lot of stuff now that's like we have here.
They're putting stuff in our food that in Europe and other countries that's banned there. So our food makes you feel like you're dying. And you go to Europe, they talk about it all the time. Those people eat bread and pasta and whatever, and they're fine. They don't feel bloated and all that because there's different ingredients. I'm a big, I could talk for hours about this. It's boring, but I'm a big food. Like, what's in our food? Like, stop trying to poison us in this country. I mean, I love my country, but the food is way different than, they know what they're doing in Europe with the food. Like here, it's like, just have some red dye in there, they'll be fine. Yeah, that's like no. Why is it illegal there and we're eating it? And everybody's sick and everybody's heavy and what's going on? So yeah.
The job that I quit, I used to work at a meat processing factory. We did hogs, we did pigs. And one time this happened during a shift. It got contaminated with hog shit. Had to shut down everything.
Right.
And the machines had to be cleaned out. The meat that was already halfway through.
Probably because it's so toxic, right?
What they have to do is actually what they do is they take it and turn it to dog food and send it to the dogs. The dogs will eat anything. They have a certain different type of digestion than humans. We're a little more sensitive to certain things. But it's just, I think, because the mass production of food, remember a few years ago, we were like, because of, there's also paranoia about things like salmonella posing, because I was watching a thing where there are places like in Europe and in Mexico, eggs are not refrigerated. They get it fresh from the eggs, put them into cartons. They're not even coated, put in like
right.
straw.
You can leave them out. You can leave it out.
But because our country's so hypochondriac, just hypochondriacs. We just always trying to sterilize everything, even to the milk. Shout out to my man here. Shout out to my man. He says this. I'm always picking on. It says, I'm not hating Andrea Shaw. It's fine as hell. I don't blame you for having a crush. Yeah, but sometimes you can't be picking on me a lot. And also he says Andrea's smile itself lights up the room. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
So
and Angie's just cool. Like she's
yeah,
cool looking. Like her body is like damn.
It's
damn.
It's amazing physique. She has great lean, great aesthetics. The thing is that she would never really get that. She's put on a good amount of size the last few years, but still it's tough to try to catch up with someone like, because you were there and this one lady who was there who got a pro card, Nina Beans, that I called her. Nina Appleford. And
she's beautiful.
I remember when I've been in contact with her, I hope I get her on for an interview sometime down the road. And when she turned around the back, a lot of people say, we see Andrea, we might see a little bit of maybe someone like Margie Martin and a little bit of Ashley Jones in her. And I'm hoping maybe, she might make a pro debut. There's a show coming up after the Olympia. It's the Steve Carr show. That's in Vegas. My man David just did an interview with him and another lady.
Open, right? That's open women's bodybuilding. Is that the only thing that's there?
It's open women's bodybuilding and also men's figure. Men's classic, but I just interviewed.
Did you do that on purpose? Did you say that on purpose?
Yeah, because just last weekend I interviewed Keo. Remember Keo? You took a picture with her, and also her husband Greg were on, and she got a pro card at the show. And Greg, he does men's classic. I said to men's figure. He laughed about it because you have these different divisions. If you look at it, you have men's bodybuilding, you have women's bodybuilding. You have physique. You have women's physique. You have 212. You have men's classic. I would say call it figure, and you have men's physique. You might well call it bikini. Now the only divisions that don't have a man counterpart is wellness, fitness, and fit model. But no one wants to see a bunch of guys in bikinis with their butt hanging out, and no one wants to see a bunch of guys jump around flipping.
Right.
Yeah. Here we go. Funny. Yeah, here's one more from a man. Shout out to a man. DJ says Angela Yo is like one of the top best posers in women's bodybuilding. I would say that her, Christina Mendoza, my dear friend, Janine Lacoste is pretty good poser. There's a long list of women. Like, it said you're a big fan of Andrea, big fan of Angela. Is there anybody else in sport that really you admire and respect as a competitor?
Yeah, I love Rachel. Rachel was my posing coach 2 years ago. And I love Alyssa, the classical queen. I love her.
Alyssa Kissler.
She's cool. She's cool. She looks good.
Yeah.
But I'm a fan of anybody that gets up there and does that. The big names, and I love in physique. I love Sarah. Sarah's she impossible to beat. Her body's. I look at her and she's friggin' perfect. I'm like, just crazy perfect. Physique, but bodybuilding, Angie, but Sarah. God. I watch, when she's very stealthy, right? She doesn't post. And then she'll start posting like a picture. As we get close to the O, it's like a little bit here, a little bit there. She stays in the shadows, right? Which is cool. But then she'll post a picture of her just in her kitchen, back double. And you're like, holy shit, look at her butt. Look at her back. it's awesome. So yeah, again, I'm naming the big names. I don't mean to do that because
that's all right.
Those newer pros that are like Nina's beautiful. Oh my god, I was like, good for you, girl. And I just I competed against Victoria right in the 40s and she won. She's huge. Like her back, and we get off stage. We're walking down the stage together because she went and then I went, whatever. And we're walking backstage, and I go, I want to look like you when I grow up. And she goes, I want to look like you when I grow up. It's just, they all. I'm a big nerd, so I love them all. But
that's all right. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan too. It's amazing women. One person,
and I know what they go through. Like I know what we're going through. Like they're all going through the same shit, right? So it's like, and the people think that it's not hard work, and you just take a bunch of pills and you wake up looking like that. Like Go
No.
fuck yourself. Sorry.
No,
Can I
no.
just say that, George? Can
Yeah,
I say
you're
that?
fine. We're grown people. We're grown people here. We we know
Like,
we're not
kiss
no
my
children.
ass. You go do it. You get up, and I've done cardio like with like nothing in me but 6 ounces of chicken. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. I'm gonna die. Take me, Jesus. This is it. I'm gonna die.
Jesus,
Like,
take the wheel.
you've gotten way down. I've been posing with Brandon, and he's like, put your lift your butt up, lift your butt up, da, da, da. Like all these commands, and like in peak week when you're like so hungry and like tired, like I'm not a crier at all. I'm not a crier, but I've gotten like I've in my head I'm like I'm gonna just start crying because I can't
20
I
push-ups.
can't hold my arms up anymore.
20 push-ups.
Yeah.
20
Then I gotta do
push-ups.
20 push-ups. I'll do it. I've done that. I've done it in like by myself. I'm like, hey, you're being a little bitch. Go do your 20 push-ups. Yeah, gotta walk the walk, and I'll do it. If no one's even if no one's watching, I'll do it. But I mean, yeah. So the people that don't understand it, you're like, I don't even waste my breath on them. I'm like, you know what? No. Because you get those too. You get those DMs. You get those comments on your stuff. You're like, oh, you're trying to be all healthy, but you're taking shots. I'm like, you know what? Fuck off. Like, goodbye. I will delete your comment if you're an asshole. Sorry, I will censor you.
I do that
because I don't need that energy in my life. Go away.
Yeah, I do that also on my channel because sometimes I have people make comments about women say these are dudes or something like that. No, these are lovely ladies. I mean, if you don't like it, here's the thing is, take your crappy ass on someplace else and mind your business. You don't have to say, you don't have to like it.
Right. You don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it. Leave people alone. Stay in your lane.
doing this content, talk with you ladies, I get to learn something. Like I said again, my crime again is I must have heard smoke. But when I find out information about what got you started, what got you passionate about this, not everybody is like I interviewed a lady a while back. She just had surgery. That's Kim G. If you ever ran into her, she had surgery on her shoulder a while back, and we were talking how she started, what got her into it, and her passion about it. This is sport about passion, and most people don't understand the regimental part of the sport, the training, the diet, and again, it's always going to go back to the issue of steroids, about taking this pill, that pill, but it's about being disciplined. And like one lady told me, motivation, that bitch went out the window a long time ago. But that discipline thing that keeps you going, it keeps you fired, it keeps you, wanting to do more, try to maybe get up there to stage with someone like Andrea or Angela or even, Ashley or any other ladies that compete in sport of bodybuilding. We got here a comment. Shout out to my man. He says this. He says, "Yeah, Nina Beans is a hybrid of Andrea and Ashley merged together. She is remarkable." Yeah, I appreciate that. Also, he says this. He says, "I love Elisa Kissling too."
Cool.
We haven't seen her. I think we haven't seen her compete since last year with Texas Pro. I thought she was going to know a show, but my guess she might be taking some time off or whatever. So
she looks like she's building right now.
Yeah.
She looks good. She looks good. Yeah. Even off season and shit.
Yeah. So when you are training, what's that thing you feel like you need to work on the most? The thing you say, you know what, everything's perfect.
Well, they just told me to get my back bigger and my shoulders, which this I guess standard what they say, right? And I'm always working on my butt and my hamstrings. Always. It's but you get to be 50, it's not an easy area to hit. It is what it is. I mean, but I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna make it better. There's room for improvement for sure. I mean, it's not like it's fat. It's just you have it's the age we are, right? There's some loose skin back there, and it's the bane of my existence. Believe me, it keeps me up at night, George. And I'm gonna come hell or high water. I'm getting rid of that loose skin. You heard it here, okay? You check back with me in 6 months. I don't care if I have to squat till my legs fall off, okay? We're gonna do what we gotta do.
I might do this favor. There's this video of Jay Cutler doing some work with his hamstrings. I sent it to somebody a while back. They say you like it. If I can find it, I'll send it to you. Maybe you might send it to work with your workout regimen. Maybe you can show it to Brandon and see what he thinks of it. If I remember where it is at, I'll find it. I'll send it to you. But that's the thing is.
Now that being said, I've improved a lot since I've improved a lot, but there's still room for improvement. I just I want my backside to look better. But it's about the back, right? It's all about the back.
Yeah, because like you look at someone like Tusen Vasic, she has a pretty good back. That's one thing that I think has propelled her into the Olympia quite a few times as a competitor. I think you always want to work on all those things that you feel like that might be your imperfections and make them a little bit. It can never be perfect, but you just
Right.
want to prove it just a little bit better, where which you can hold your own, hold your head high. This is a sport about commitment and passion.
Right.
This shout to my man DJ. He says, yeah, anti women bodybuilding trolls that talk negatively about women bodybuilding athletes. They have low self-esteem, jealous, miserable, and don't understand sport.
Here,
And
here.
shout to my man Alex. He says this. He says, agree, DJ. Yeah, because guys were like this. There'll be like this one side where this guy's saying, she just look at this chick, she's all pumped and muscular, and where you getting all those muscles? Yeah. And then the other guy say, wow, Erin, you got those muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those guys can be a little bit extreme. But the other thing is, like anything, is always going to be how I talk about this. How sometimes I talk about my channel, how there's like almost anything be sexualized, and and then you have the guys who might be talking shit, but then in the other way it says, "I saw your last interview, Erin. I think you're really cute. I love your muscles." But then there be the guy, I remember this guy told me how sometimes guys have to hang around with a certain girl, but then when they come around with their homeboys, they want to know that you're with that girl. That's the mentality of some guys out there who follow bodybuilding.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just, you know what, and you know this because we're the same age. So you hit an age, you're like, I don't care what you think. How about that? I mean, you care a lot when you're young about what people think of you. You start to lose that when you hit 30. I'd say about 30-ish, early 30s. You're like, oh, you don't like me? Cool. So when I get, I get mostly lovely, sweet, supportive comments, right? The sexy stuff, my husband doesn't really like that. So when someone does that, I'm like, oh shit, David's gonna freak out. So I'm like, can we keep it on can we be cool? Like, just keep it respectful. But then you get these people that you're like, you look like a man in a bikini. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. Number one. Number two, but that's my personality. Like, if I don't like something, I don't rail against it. I'm not going to write an essay about how I don't like it. I'm going to move on with my life. You just go, oh, that's interesting. I don't really care. And you keep going. But these people, like, they really get into it and they want to tell you what they think. And you're like, okay, cool. You're not living my life. You don't know what I did. You don't know what I know. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I'm into. Like, I'm just, I love the athleticism of it. And this sounds, maybe perfection isn't the right word, but like the what's the right thing to say? The drive to, like I said earlier, like to, be something more spectacular than just normal. Right. And that's what drives me. I've always thought to myself, I don't want to be normal. I want to be somehow spectacular in some way, like just more than normal. Right. Have even if you're not like big and famous and, on the front of a magazine cover, that would be awesome. But just to be so you did something, right? You did something cool with your life, or something that's hard to do, or, this is not an easy thing to do. I don't care what people think or what their perception of that it's easy or it's all drug induced. It's like, no, it's not easy to do this. And it's a constant, we're very hard on ourselves. We're very disciplined with ourselves, but I love it. I mean, that's how I am. So it doesn't really faze me, but it's, again, if you don't understand it or it's not your thing, just move along. Who cares? Like, I don't need to read what your crazy hatred crap. Like, I'm going to delete it. It's almost as soon as I see it, I'm going to like, boop, gone. I don't understand people that do that. Like, go find your joy, stop. What's this thing? Stop pissing on everybody's parade. Do your thing,
Well,
that should be a life thing anyway. Just leave people alone. Just you do you, I'll do me, whatever. But
there was some people, that's all they have. Some people just love being in their own misery and they want to pass it on to somebody else. And when you're doing something that they don't have the courage or the discipline or the mindset to do, then you just be a target for their own grief.
Yeah, it's like it irritates them somehow. I'm like, okay.
Well, like I said, I talked to ladies who are like, one lady I have on here. She's 60 years old. She got into bodybuilding at 55, and she enjoys what she's doing. other ladies who they love the sport, but the sport is, I say like this, the sports scene don't have love for y'all ladies like it should be. As you know,
Right.
recently, what's going on with the Rising Phoenix, because Jake has to compete with the Arnold, with his show, because he's shooting the prize money to like nearly $250,000.
Right. Right.
And also, with so few opportunities, like Physique, they lost some shows this year. The prize money is not as lucrative if you like you do a show like it's like you might get 3 at the most, maybe 5 at the most. That's the thing is for y'all women, when it comes to showtime, it's suspense. The hair, the makeup, the tanning, your pose suit right there.
Cheap.
Yeah, your pose suit right there. That's maybe a car note, your mortgage, and then all the guys over there, they got to put on a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts and tan.
Right.
That's it.
Right. Right.
Because you really have to bring in the presentation of both muscle and femininity.
Right. Right. I know. I love it when I get my makeup done. That's the only time I look like that, because this is my normal day in normal day in day out June Cleaver look right here. Muscly June Cleaver, but
Yeah, you get the buff fever, like
yeah.
yeah. But I think
Nobody messes with my kids at school, though. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
they know.
I mean, yes.
Your mom's a bodybuilder. They all know who I am. They all know that, like, that's my mom. Like, cool.
Yeah,
you understand?
I think I often hear some stories here where I think when it comes to certain parents, the guys have a little bit more respect, but the women can be catty, because you're not the typical house. Even though you are in a way a typical housewife, you're not the typical looking housewife.
Oh, yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not wearing mom jeans. You're wearing Gymshark, and you're coming in there. You're all buffed up. I know one thing. Sometimes clothes is hard to find for women, because I just saw a lady. She posted a while back. I said, you know what? These are some nice clothes. I'm sure there's some ladies who might like to find something, especially to wear, especially as bodybuilders. And being out with your friends and family, sometimes that's the difficult part of it, because you have to maybe. I got to go to bed at 10 o'clock because I got to get morning and do my fast cardio, get ready before I go to work. The diet, like you got teenagers, and I know they don't always like to eat mom's prep food. They like to eat good old fashioned burgers and like that.
I made them a pizza this afternoon. I didn't have any, but I made them a pizza.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing about being a mom. You make.
So I'm not torturing them all the time, just so you know. I let them be kids.
No. Get out. Yeah. Get to work. My mom used to do that with us.
But they do eat a lot of meat and rice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in my experience, like I get either people are super, super cool and complimentary. Like when you go to Walmart or when you go to whatever, the grocery store, people are like, oh my God. And they stop me and they like want to have questions, and super nice. It's either one of the two, right? Or you get the like, you get that. But it doesn't faze me. Again, I don't care. Like, you don't know me. Your opinion of me does not faze me that much at all.
That's the thing.
I know I'm a good person. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm keeping it straight. I got my beautiful husband, my 2 beautiful kids. We're so blessed. Like this whole life is so blessed, and it's so much fun.
I'm gonna give
and I don't have time for that hateful bullshit at all. Zero, nothing. Zero.
I'm gonna give you a little advice. As a husband's an ex-Marine and a man, last thing you want to call a man is beautiful. We're not beautiful, handsome, stoic,
He's a beautiful
strong.
soul. He's a
beautiful soul. We take that, but you'll call a man beautiful. We don't like that. Hey, that's y'all thing. Women, y'all beautiful.
You know what I mean. Yeah,
I know you mean. Yeah. Because I think everybody has their ideals of who they want to be, who they are, and we, as us who are in half a century, we understand things that that most people are not willing to accept. Everybody wants what they think is the ideal lifestyle.
Right.
No one is going to be perfect. You got to make the best of what you got. And when I do interview you ladies and I hear your stories, the stuff you have to go through, the things you have to do, the sacrifices, and not like so much. It's not much a sacrifice. It's an investment in this sport. But this is, I say this again. I wish this sport would give you a return out of it. I mean, you go to shows, you compete. As a master competitor, you have to pay to play. That's an expense that's also there. Mm-hmm. I wish there was, I would say, like with some competitions, like a good, like, if you don't get prize money, hey, let's do this something to cover your cost of your trip. Let's, maybe a PDM, like what Wayne Sprint were doing for Rising Phoenix,
Right.
or like you play a pro card every year. What you get out of a pro card, so I can compete at shows. Why not? Hey, like I got a family. Let me have some insurance. Let me have something to take care of my family. If I get sick or get hurt, where something, this is the thing is,
Right.
you men and women are the product of NPC and IFBB. And the thing is,
Right.
they should invest their product like anybody else.
I agree. That would be very nice. That would be kind, for sure.
Yeah. But the thing is, we all know this is a sport about, it's more take than give.
Yeah. But it's given me so much. So, I mean, it's just awesome. This last month has just been awesome. Just to win 2 shows back to back, that was freaking cool. That was cool.
Honestly, that's what was pretty good for me, because I went to Tampa because where Eunice, we talked on the phone maybe a few months before that. She was open her booth in Tampa because she was working with Tim Gardner, and he talked about doing the booth. And she was telling me she's trying to get some women to come down there to help her out. And that's, she couldn't get to certain ladies because they were busy or something like that. So you know what? Not like ever since my mom passed, I don't got much to do. I'm here at home. Only thing I do is like maybe go shopping, go doctor's visits, go do my laundry. I live in a very small town. We have a Dollar General, a food, one grocery store, 2 gas stations, and a Family Dollar, and not much going on around here. I'm home most of the time. But I said to myself, I had a few bucks saved because I had a car. Actually, it's a car my older sister gave me. She had it for a long time. Then it's it's in a shop. Been there for about 2 years. I said, fuck that cloud hop. I'm not gonna risk more money. I want to get it fixed. So I'm trying to save some money for a car. I have money saved for that. Then when Eunice said she was doing this, I said, you know what? My friend, I want to go down there and help her. And because I never, like I said, last time I went to buy this show was 2022. I went to Savannah. And I said, you know what? I want to do this, just help my friend out, and also have a good time, meet some ladies. I met Christine and a couple ladies I did interviews with, and just enjoy the experience. One of my highlights was, I gotta show you this picture. If you follow my social media, one of my highlights is me, like other thing. Like I said, I met Kevin Lavone. He was there because I talked to him. I said, hey, I told him he should have missed Olympia a couple of times. And then I'm meeting Sharonica Hinton there, and I've been a fan of hers for a long time. I think she's a standard wins physique. Then this one here, meeting Ashley Jones, and she's just wonderful. I talked to her a little bit, but one of the biggest highlights in my life is meeting this gentleman here. If you recognize him, you should know him.
Yes. Yeah. That's David Lee Roth.
Yes, and I mean, I was just excited. I mean, that's the next time when I went to Disney World. And
especially when you grew up in the 80s, like we did.
Yeah. We grew out the country, but we didn't have cable. But it used to be, remember your TV show called Friday Night Videos? Used to come on right after Letterman. And Jump was really big because what it did, it crossed over. Because Eddie played a synthesizer. You didn't hear that in rock and roll, mostly in R&B and rap. You didn't hear it in rock and roll. He did that. He brought us into the music.
Right. No, that's very cool. I'm glad you got to meet him. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was just highlight for me,
See what happens when you leave your house?
Yeah. He had to, the only thing was that it's hot. It was hot down there. That humid. Oh my God.
For sure. I know all about it.
I'm a big man too. I feel like I was a ghetto snowman. I was melting. But it was an experience. I enjoyed that. I mean, I'm thinking about doing next year. I was talking to Eunice. She might, do another show. I might come out there. If not, then I might go to another show. There's 3 shows I got in mind. One is, I'm hoping that they were going to have it this year, but they dropped it. Have women's bodybuilding in Texas. I would love to go to Texas Pro. Yeah, because she's been doing pretty good work with that show. Or I have family that way, Atlanta. I was thinking about going to Atlanta, but then I went to Tampa. And that's, I might go with that. But another show, me and you are talking about, she might want to do it. I might go there to support her.
Very cool. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Get you out and about. Gotta get you on the circuit here. See, you're famous anyway. We all know who you are.
Oh yeah. See, sometimes I'm like this. I realize sometimes we reach out to ladies for interviews. Some say, "Nah, I don't think I'm like you." Well, I'm like this. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm too hot for some, but I'm just right for others.
Yeah. No, you're great, George, and I appreciate all the support and all the all the people you bring, then educate them about the sport, because it's fun, and these are good ladies. These are good. I mean, you always meet a couple duds that don't talk to you backstage, but for the most part, I'd say 8 times out of 10, everybody's pretty cool. I am. I don't. I told David, I'm like a big puppy. I just want to play with everybody. I want to play. What you see is what you get. I'm not shady. I have no ulterior motive. In fact, I have to jump off soon because I have to go pick up my kids from church because they're at church. It's just, it should be fun. It's a hard sport. It's an individual sport, but it's also the camaraderie is there. And there's no reason to be weird about it. And my experience, again, there's always a couple ladies that are just kind of like looking at you, like one's kind of side eyeing you, and I'm like, whatever, just
Yeah, like this is.
I guess that goes with competition. I'm competing against myself, right? Like it's about me on me. I'm not too stressed about everybody else.
Well, like I said,
trying to do what I'm my best that I can do, right?
Like it's you versus you. Not so much as the other person. The other person is just there. But it's you versus you. You have to face that person in the mirror. You have to compete with that person. The other person on stage is just there. Right. And if you can bring your game and you do your best, that's all that matters. If anybody's got a problem, that's on them. I like to say, I ran into some women that, and one of my jobs, I said earlier, I used to work in a strip club. And sometimes there's some women that can be, there's some nice ladies. Sometimes there's women can straight up B-I-B-I-D-H.
Right.
And then sometimes I don't want to deal with them. So we're not going to hold her much too long. Like I said, she's like, Mom, she got to get the kids from church on Wednesday.
It's youth group tonight. They're a youth group. I got to go pick them up.
Yeah. So this is one question I will ask you. Are you sponsored currently right now, or everything's on your shoulders?
I'm not sponsored by anybody right now.
All right. That's one thing I think bodybuilding a lot of you ladies can use sponsorship. You can be able to do more shows, cover the cost of travels. I wish I can do that. I wish I could sponsor athletes if I could. I don't have money like Jake would. I mean, I wouldn't mind Jake. Hey, Jake, I just have what you got in your pocket. Just give me what you got in your pocket, Jake. I'll be all right. But if I could, I would love to sponsor competitors. I would love to help them out, especially to get there where they want to get as far as they want as a bodybuilder. But then you gotta be careful, Erin. There's those guys out there. He say this buff, beautiful blonde chick. She got me excited. No, you sick freak. Stop it. Stop. You. We know what you're thinking about.
Not my version of sponsorship. I'm looking for, right?
No. But here's the thing is, this is what if I could do. I would say like this, Mrs. Hawkins. Your story about your career, your life, the stuff you've been through is very particularly interesting to us. So if you are inclined and to be part as one of our ambassadors for our program, we can help you on your way. If it's something that works for you, if something you feel like you can use in your process, let us know. We'll be happy to help you out and also see how you grow as an athlete.
Thank you, George. Of course. I'll do anything you need me to do. I love your page. You send me stuff every day.
I'm glad to, because I always try to find something to me.
Do you follow the guy? I have to ask you. This is a totally random question.
Go ahead.
Do you follow the guy? I'll find it and send it to you. His handle is not Keyshawn, but he looks like he watches people make desserts. He's like, oh my Lord.
That guy's it. Give me some.
And he puts himself. He's like, I'm gonna make myself smaller, and he's like,
give me some. Yeah, I watch that dude.
Oh my God, it's so funny. We just found him like last week. My husband and I, and we're laughing our heads off. He's like, they're making some kind of chocolate thing. He's like, oh my Lord. Yeah, let me make myself smaller. What are you making?
He's pretty funny dude. We got to come here from Alice. He says, sorry, finger slip. I meant to say George is amazing. Thank you, brother. He said this. He says her. He said but he that's a finger slip. But yeah, I wish that there was, like, I think compared to the men, which I said like this, the men's division is the bottom bitch. They're always going to get more attention. Now you get the point system is going to change the outlook of the next Olympia, and you had you have a new division. I can't fit model.
What information do you have about the Masters? It's not till 2027.
2027.
Tell me everything you know.
Well, you can't if you do a master show this year and next year, and also any masters 40 plus, you get qualified for that show. And also you can put in an application. You can apply.
They're still doing that.
Yeah, because a couple ladies, they applied but they didn't compete. I know Virginia Sanchez was supposed to compete, but she dropped out. I interviewed Kenya Squarey. She was done it. She won a qualification at Toronto, but she dropped out. I don't know why. And a couple others. Some ladies actually, they were still doing applications. They're still doing qualification right up at Tampa. That's like that. That's just because Susan Graham, she did that show and turned around and went to Japan. Right. But you can still, as long as you can pick a show where it's 40 plus, that's the requirement. You can also apply, and then also I think the ladies who were top 5 this year are invited.
Right.
Yeah. So, like I said, folks, we're not hold much too longer. This is a question I ask you. What would you want out of bodybuilder for yourself?
What I want to do? What?
What would you want out of bodybuilding for yourself?
For myself? Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think that way. I'm not doing it to get something out of it. Betterment, right? I mean, lovely to have a sponsor. That'd be lovely to offset some of the cost, if I'm being totally honest. But I don't really approach it like that. I don't approach it like, what can it do for me? It's already done so much, for me as a person, as an athlete. I never thought I could be an athlete, which is cool. It's cool to say you're an athlete. It's cool to say you're a pro athlete. Yeah, sponsor. Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want sponsorships? But I guess I don't really think that way. Like it's done enough for me already. It's made me feel, abnormal, which is what I was going for in the first place. Not abnormal bad, abnormal good, abnormal. Mm-hmm. Not normal, not mediocre, right? Extraordinary in some way. It's already done that for me. So I would love, one day I would always, David and I always talk about this, my husband, David. I would love to, I don't know how you even get to do it or how it works, but just to, be an NPC judge and then, work your way up to being one of the judges, based on being around it for so long and being a trainer for so long. And I don't know how they get to do that. That'd be cool. Well, when you're done competing, it'd be fun to be on that list of people that gets to help judge,
Well, best advice is just go to a judge, like someone like Sandy Williamson. Maybe I saw him. He was at Tampa. Tyler Mannion. I think he's still wet behind the ears and breath like Similac. He just or C. Weinberger or any other judges who compete in NBC, that work in NBC IFBB, and just ask. They'll tell you what you need to do. I know a lady. She's a friend of mine. She's an NBC judge, and maybe in the future she'll become an IFB judge. It's like anything. It's a process. It's about taking steps. How well build your reputation. Maybe get people, and maybe they see that potential in you that they'll move you up from the NPC up to the IFBB. It's like anything, it takes time, but you got you have to be wanting and willing to work at it.
Right.
Just like bodybuilding.
Yeah. Right. Of course.
Yeah. We got here a comment from my man Alex. It says, Erin, keep up the great work. Thank you for sharing your story. All right. It's from my man DJ. Also said, it was nice to meet you, Erin. I appreciate these guys. I say like Erin, these guys, when they see a new girl, they get excited. It's like the episode of Chappelle's Show when Charlie Murphy meets a prince and hanging a guy Nikki Free. I thought Nikki Free was a chick, but he's actually a dude. But say, hey, Shalimar got a new girl. She found a motherfucker. That's Nikki Free.
Right.
But they love you, ladies. These guys are fans. They support you. They come here. They like to talk. Because some of these guys, like Alex, he met quite a few bodybuilders. So he sent me a picture one time. He was with Lola Montez. I hope she does win the title. I think she needs to be the new figure champion. Shout out to Sid. I'm not a big fan of a certain person who they're pushing, but this is the thing about this sport. It's a sport that is mentally, physically, emotionally, financially draining. But as long as you love what you're doing, you have a passion for it. So again, you can walk away from it anytime you want to. You remember, like you said, your husband convinced you, but you know what? It didn't take much to convince you for you to come back. Part of you wanted to come back.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. It was cool. Yeah. Looks like a challenge, right? That's how I roll.
Yeah. You just want to just roll. Just like the great Sylvester Stallone said, like this. Like it's not how hard you can hit; it's how hard you take the hits and
Right.
keep
Get
moving
back up.
forward. Yeah. Get up, you son of a bitch. Look you lucky.
Right.
Yeah. So, folks, I'd like to thank my guests that were here. My man Alex, my brother KF the Wonder, my man DJ, all the other guys who watched this. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all support. If you want to follow Erin, her link in the description of this live. Check her out, support her, show interest. And if you're someone out there who wants to support a bodybuilder, if you have a plan that works with them, because sometimes, guys, you can be funny. Can be funny, and this is I say this often. I say, guys, you get more with a silk glove than with an iron fist. I know what you're doing with that iron fist. Don't come on, be respectful. So, you have anybody want to shout out before we let you go?
Just the people I mentioned. My husband David, he's my rock. He's everything. My kids, my babies, and my coach Brandon Ray. He's awesome. And again, I know that everybody at the gym is going to watch this. So everybody at the gym, everybody at Lifetime, especially my group fitness people, they know who they are. There's a throng of people at Lifetime South Tulsa in Oklahoma. They take my classes, and they couldn't be better to me. I mean, they're so supportive, and I'm mean to them sometimes. They're the people that have to do push-ups, and and they're so excited by all this. They love it, and they're always supportive. And when I got back from this last show, I won Tupelo, and then I came back and won this show and the World Masters Pro, and I came back in the gym, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, congratulations!" Couldn't be. They treat me like I'm some kind of celebrity, It was very sweet. I just put my hat back on, my visor, and I put my head down, I go back to working out, and everybody stops me and tells me how they're so proud of me, and it's inspiring, and that, because I'm 51. And these are, all ages. There's David right there. There's the Marine.
David. You want to come in and say hello? Hello, sir. Sir, like I told your wife, I want to say.
He can't hear you because you're in my ear. Hold on, Jordan.
Oh,
I can undo this. Hold on.
All right, yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Right. I always say to you, sir, as to a Jareen, I want to say thank you for your service as a citizen. I appreciate the sacrifice you made for this country. Can you hear me?
He can't hear you.
Oh.
Why can't he hear you? What'd you say? I'm sorry. I'll relay it.
I just tell him, say, I appreciate the sacrifice you made for this country for as being the Marine Corps.
Appreciate the sacrifice you made for this country.
Oh, thank you.
Do you eat crayons too?
Does he eat crayons?
All the time.
All the time.
I have family members that was in the Army. You should joke about that.
If you know, right?
Yeah, you know. But thank you, sir. But anyway, I appreciate the time you've given me in this interview.
Thank you, George.
I hope the best. We hope to get to see you next year. Maybe we may get to see each other. Maybe get to see each other at a show. Like I said, depending on which show it's going to be. Yeah, I love to meet some of you ladies. It was a great opportunity for me when I went to Tampa. I met some ladies like Wendy Gronk Wilson, also Natasha Marshall, Christina, Eunice, a lot of other ladies who did interviews with and got to meet them and talk with them. It was a great opportunity for me. And you meet ladies like Chelsea Dion and Rachel and Ashley and Sharonica. It was just. August was a great month for me. I was busy with interviews. I did 2 back-to-back interviews.
Good month. August was great. I agree.
It was a great month. Yeah, it was a great month. But October, September's pretty good. October, we got Olympia coming up. Oh.
I've always wanted to go.
I got a 2-year plan. I'm just right now. I got to save the money up because I really want to go there in style. I want to go in style. I like my other guy says, I want to go with a smile on the face. Oh, before I let you go, Erin, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about him. I'm trying to keep him control. I can't help it.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But anyway, I'm gonna let you go ahead and go get your babies. I appreciate the time you're giving out to me, and I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, love. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the support and everything you do for all of us. I know you interview all the ladies. And it's just great to have you in our corner. I know you're a big super fan.
Well, I'm
We need more like you. We need more like you.
I know I quite a few
Maybe
ladies,
I should start a podcast.
You should. I mean, that's a great way to get attention. You know, any bodybuilders want to do it, take part of it. That's great.
Yeah.
You know, if you ever sometimes on the weekends, every once in a while, I do Monday. I do a little thing with me, some other guys. We talk about bodybuilding, and also like that thing I did on Sunday. I do that every last Sunday where we talk about stuff that's going on. But one person Wednesdays I would love to meet. I saw her do guest posing in Savannah. I would love to interview you someday as Andrea.
Have you asked her? You haven't asked her?
I've seen requests and like that, but I know she's a busy lady. I can't. I'm just a lonely boy. I am lonely.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna hold that in my head for you. Try to get that to happen. I'm gonna visualize that.
Yeah, I hope maybe someday, you know. But like I say, one can talk to ladies like yourself, as I call them, with your boots on the ground, 10 toes down. This is a pleasure for me also. But we wish you thank you. Thank you so much. You never have to say thank you. That's why I do this. You never have to have.
I appreciate it though. Thank you so much, dear.
You're welcome, ma'am. So let you go. So, folks, if you want to follow Erin, her link description of this live. Be respectful. Her husband is a Marine. You know, show support, show interest, and just like I said, these ladies deserve it because it's a lot. Not everybody, like the great Riley Coleman says, not everybody can be a bodybuilder because they don't want to lift his heavy ass weight. Well, ma'am, enjoy the rest of this upcoming weekend. Say hello to the babies and thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
All right, folks. You're welcome. Folks, enjoy the rest of your coming up weekend. Enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of the evening, whatever. You should be on our way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I am out. Good night, good luck, and God bless.